I know better. I do. I absolutely know better. I know I do. But for once, can we finally trust this organization and believe in this organization to actually do the right thing? I know I said this before. Why we can't have nice things? It's about time for this fan base, for this city, and for this organization to finally have nice things. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football, Houston Texan football. Today we're going to talk about the Houston Texans head coaching search, and the luck is starting to heat up, and the arrow is pointing towards a very familiar face, a former Houston Texan player. More than likely will get this job. We're going to talk about, we're going to break it down. Before we get in there, like I've been telling you before, if you're liking the content, make sure you liking the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you comment on all the videos. You watching all the videos, first of all. Make sure you comment on all the videos. Make sure you're sharing all the videos on all social media platforms. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, any type of social media platform you use, make sure you share it on the same social media platforms. Also, follow me on social media as well. The link in the description below. Make sure you follow me. Make sure you comment on the videos. You share the videos. You like the videos. Let's get this channel growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. I really, really appreciate that. Now, the Houston Texans have finished their first wave of interviewing for head coaching hires. I mean, they interviewed Ben Johnson, the OC out of Detroit, who decided to go back. They interviewed Sean Payton. They interviewed Demeco, Ryan, Steichen, Kafka from the Giants, Ujiro, the DC from the Broncos. Gannon, the DC from the Eagles, like I said, Steichen, the OC from the Eagles, and obviously, like I said, Demeco Ryans, the former Houston Texan, also defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, they have interviewed the DC from the Broncos and Mike Kafka for their second time this past week because of they're able to do that because they're not able to interview Steichen or Gannon or Demeco because they're playing on Sunday. They cannot interview until next Monday. So after the NFC Championship game, so they are basically pulling the back burner. They can't interview them yet, and it doesn't seem like we're going after Sean Payton. Like, doesn't seem like things, especially after all the things that was going on last week. And like, hey, one, I'm not interested in giving up draft capital for Sean Payton in the first place. I start to get intrigued when I start to look at some of his numbers. I start to get intrigued about it. Until he start running his mouth on Cowherd, and Cowherd comes on here and talks all this. And I'm thinking that maybe it wasn't that it was dysfunction. Maybe that he ain't hear what he wanted to hear when he did the Zoom interview. Maybe he came up in here like he was like, hey, man, hey, I'm Sean Payton. I went to a Super Bowl with Drew Brees. Hey, I want this, that, and the third. And Cal and Nick like, whoa, hold up. I know we the Texans, but hold up, bro, hold up. We ain't gonna just come in here doing all this, and we gotta give up draft capital to get you, and we gotta pay you $25 million per year for 4 years. Like that's what you want, even though it doesn't count as a salary cap. But no, you more trouble than you worth, and you up here blabbing. You and Cowherd out here having dinner, blabbing like two 15-year-old girls. Like y'all, child, let me tell you what these Texans was talking about. That's how y'all sound. And then he come on TV. I know. I had dinner with Sean Payton last night. He was very impressed by Denver. He wasn't impressed on Zoom. You can see the dysfunction. We ain't got time for all that. We don't got time for you to be our head coach and have a mouthpiece on TV airing our dirty laundry. We ain't got time for all that. This Houston Texans had a lot of drama for the last 4 or 5 years. We done with the drama. We understand. We respect your offensive mind. We know what you did in New Orleans. Wait, hey, I get it. It's a wrap. So I don't think Sean Payton's gonna get a job. I'm not gonna lie. I had concerns with the whole Kafka and the Kafka interview, the second interview. Like, man, we can't interview Demeco. We can't interview none of these other guys because of the whole. They got to play. Got to coach for the game. So, because again, at the end of the day, we are still the Texans, and the Texans do Texan things. They always pull the rug from underneath. That's why I said, I know better. But I actually believe that the tide is starting to turn. Like I said, Demeco Ryans had the long interview on Friday night. It was rumored to be anywhere between 6 and 2.5 hours. Don't believe the 6 hours. The 2.5 hours, I believe, probably actually went down. You got JJ out there tweeting about it, basically giving his endorsement for Demeco to get the job. And I believe that Demeco Ryans is the fan favorite for the majority. He's the majority fan favorite. Like I said, he played for the Houston Texans. He was drafted second round draft pick, rookie of the year, the very first rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year for the Houston Texans. 2-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All Pro with the Houston Texans in 2007. He was All Pro in the Pro Bowler. Also was made a Pro Bowl in 2008 as well. Like I said, in 2006 rookie of the year. So in 3 straight years, he had high accolades for the Houston Texans. So it is not just that. I mean, Demeco checks off every single box. Demeco checks off every single box that you want. And like I said, for the most part, he's the majority fan favorite who wants. There's some people out there who don't want Demeco Ryans. And to be honest, I really don't understand. I really don't get it. Except one thing. One thing I can kind of understand though, because like I said, Demeco checks off every single box. The only box Demeco does not check off is this just happened the side of the field that he played the side of the football that he played on. He played defense. He's a defensive minded guy. Me personally, I would prefer my personal preference was to get an offensive minded head coach when you're about to bring in when you're about to draft in a rookie quarterback, especially drafting a rookie quarterback top 5. I would prefer to bring in an offensive minded guy because you want somebody that's going to build the system around him, and you got to worry about him leaving because with a defensive minded guy, if your quarterback has success, that offensive coordinator is going to get a job. And then you could bump up the quarterback's coach, but 9 times out of 10, that OC is probably going to take that quarterback coach with him, and you might have to go get another offensive coordinator, and you might have to change your philosophy. Again, that's my preference, and that's not the situation because Demeco, I actually make the exception for Demeco because, like I say, he checks off every single box, and I'm not even talking about him playing for the Texans. From a leader of man mentality, he just looks and feels like a coach. Like when you see him, it just feels right. He just looks like he's a head coach. He talks like a head coach. I seen an interview from Arian Foster. Arian Foster said a couple years ago, or maybe a year or two ago, he ran Demeco in the airport. He played with Demeco. He runs into him. He goes and talks to his homeboy, his former teammate. Hey, what's up, bro? And he said Demeco just comes out, and initially when he's talking to him, he's already in coach mode. And Arian's like, whoa, hey, say, bro, hey, don't talk to me like that. Like, don't talk to me like that. It's still me. Don't talk to me like that. And I know people also said the same thing with TJ Yates and Cushion when they was on the coaching staff under Bill O'Brien. Some of these guys who were their teammates, when they was talking to him, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Hop said it was kind of weird talking to TJ and talking to Cushion the way he was talking because they were in coach mode. Like they were in coach mode when they know him as their teammates. I mean, TJ Yates threw touchdown passes to Hopkins. So kind of that same type of feel, but he's a guy who wants to be a coach. He's a guy who wants to be here. And I think, like I said, everything just feels right. Everything just seems and fits right. And then what he's doing on the side of the football, as he's doing as a DC in San Francisco. Like I said, they in the divisional round, just beat the Cowboys. And then also, like if you look at his defensive stats, last year he was 12th in points, 3rd in yards total defense. This past year, this season right here, he's 4th in yards and 2nd in points. 4th in total yards, 2nd in points. Now understand, the San Francisco 49ers have a lot of dogs. They have a lot of pieces on defense. I understand that. They have a whole bunch of pieces on defense, and they're loaded. They're loaded on that side of the ball. And obviously, he doesn't have them same type of talent. He doesn't have a Nick Bosa here, but he does have a Stingley. He does have a Damian Pierce. He does have a Christian Harris who went to the same school as he went to at Alabama. He does have a Jonathan Gennard who shows flashes when Jonathan Gennard plays. Like the defense has pieces. You have a lot of draft capital. You'll be able to put pieces and be able to put people on the defensive side of the ball to help him. So I have no problem with that. I have no problem with the pieces the San Francisco 49ers have. And I'm not expecting them to come in here and make the Texan defense the number 4 defense in the NFL. I don't expect them to do that. No, not off the bat. But I do expect this team to be well coached, be well prepared, and have a lot of intensity. Like you see him on the sideline. It's a gift that he's doing all this, and like you see him on the sideline, you see him energetic. You see how he feels because again, he's played football. He recently just played. I think his last game was in 2016. Like he just played. He just played not that long ago. He's been coaching San Francisco since 17. So I think either his last game was in 16 or 15. The guy's only 38 years old. He'll be 39 this summer. So he'll be 39 by the time the season starts. I mean, everything, like I say, just feels and seems right. And you just gotta make the move. You want to get your fans back You want to get your fans back here. You want to bring back juice and excitement to this fan base. Do what's right and bring in Demeco Ryans. Now, I seen the thing with Cal and Hannah at I think the Houston Sports Awards last night, and what they were saying, like they both were talking like, we're taking our time. There's no pressure. Like we want to make the long-term goal. Like the goal is to get a long-term head coach here. Cause you hear everything you hear about Tony Dungy saying nobody wants this job, and all the other people on TV, Stephen A. and Michael Irvin and Michael Smith and all these other guys out there who act like this, talk about how bad this job is, how they firing black coaches one and done and woo. Man, again, one, I understand it. They don't watch the games. They don't watch Houston Texans. They don't know what we've seen for the last really 3 years, but really the last 2 years. And you got David Culley trying to punt on third down, a damn near punt on third down type situation. You got Lovey settling for the tie in week 1, but then when it's a situation where if you lose the game or tie the game, you get the number 1 overall pick. But no, I'm gonna go for the win. Then just mismanaging the. Oh, I'm not telling y'all who's the quarterback because it's going to give the team a disadvantage. Like just all the stupid, weird stuff they were doing while we're in the middle of being the worst football team in the NFL didn't make any damn sense. But I say all that, they don't realize because they don't watch the Texans week in and week out. They might have seen the game against Philly because it was on prime time. They might have watched the game against Dallas because people watch Dallas, so they might have watched that game. And that's about it. And they know what our record is. And they know we fired David Culley. They know that we fired Lovie Smith after 1 year. And because they black coaches, it gets a whole different thing going around. So, like they both said, they want to take their time and they want to make the long-term hire, which is good, which gives me confidence. Again, I could be making a fool of myself by starting to believe these guys. Because like I said, I know better. Y'all know better. We all know better. Because at the end of the day, it's still the Houston Texans. It's still the Texans. Don't act like they ain't never pulled that rug from underneath us before. Now, come on, don't act like we all going right and they bust their left. Don't act like they ain't do that. Because they do it all the time. It's the reason why we've been in the situation we've been in recently. But if you look through the history of the franchise, it's the reason why we've been the way we've been through our whole franchise. So don't get it twisted. But this is the thing. Demeco interviewed for the Broncos. The Broncos actually met with Demeco in person. I didn't like that. I wish the Texans would have went up there. But they talked to him on Zoom. Like I said, it went so long. For whatever reason, he canceled the Cardinals interview. He canceled the Colts interview. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he turned down Carolina. So, now people are saying, well, maybe he's just pushing those interviews back. Even if he is pushing those interviews back, they can't interview him until Monday. And when they interview him Monday, the Texans have already interviewed him before then. So the Texans, no matter win or lose, the Texans Cal needs to have that jet gassed up. Already gassed up, headed for San Francisco. And if they lose to the Eagles, you bringing him back to Houston. Yeah, don't worry about your clothes. Hey, don't worry about nothing. Hey, we'll buy you new stuff when we get to Houston. We'll buy that. Don't pack no suitcase. Don't get no toothbrush. Don't get nothing. We'll buy you everything you need when you get to Houston. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. You and your wife, y'all come on. We gonna get this deal done. Come on. And if they happen to win, and obviously they're going to the Super Bowl, of course he's going to stay there because he's going to be preparing for a Super Bowl championship. Go ahead, and do what you gotta do. And make sure that he does not interview with none of these other teams. Because he hasn't interviewed with Carolina yet. He hasn't interviewed with Arizona. He hasn't interviewed with Indianapolis. And they might already have jobs. Already have their jobs sold up before money gets here, hopefully. So you ain't got to worry about them. Now, you do got to worry about the Broncos. That's why you got to beat the Broncos you got to beat everybody to the punch. Don't wait. Don't drag your feet this time. Do not drag your feet. Get on that jet and head to San Francisco and bring Demeco Ryans to Houston. That's one of the reasons why I need the San Francisco 49ers to lose. I need to lose. I know people, man, don't you want to get a championship? As a person, I do. As a person, because I like Demeco, I do want to get a championship. But what does him win the Super Bowl championship have to do for the Houston Texans? It doesn't. It doesn't. It's good on his resume that he's a Super Bowl champion as a defensive coordinator, but that does not do anything for his head coaching job. You know why? Lovie Smith went to a Super Bowl with the Bears. What that do for him in Tampa or in Houston? Nothing. And he was actually a head coach. Gary Kubiak went to 2 Super Bowls as a backup quarterback with Denver, 1 Super Bowl as a quarterbacks coach in the San Francisco 49ers, then won 2 Super Bowls back-to-back as the offensive coordinator in Denver before he got the job in Houston. 5 Super Bowl appearances, 2 as a player, 3 as a coach, 3 championships as a coach. What did that have to do with him in Houston? What did that bring over to Houston, the kid that win championships? Nah, damn thing. He did end up going back to Denver and win one. Just saying, as a head coach. Like what somebody does on somebody else's team has nothing to do with us. Yes, we want them to get their accolades. Obviously, as a person, you want them to be successful and it's look good on their resume. But it does nothing for the job that they have. Like, I don't care what he does with another team. I obviously don't want him to look bad, I want him to look good. But as far as winning championships, winning coach of the year, winning a Heisman Trophy, winning a national championship, that has nothing to do when it gets on this level. It has nothing to do when you're in this situation. No matter how many, Andre Johnson won a national championship at Miami. Deshaun Watson won a national championship at Clemson. That did not do anything for the Houston Texans. Kareem Jackson won national championship at Alabama. That did nothing for the Houston Texans. It didn't. That does nothing. It's good on their resume, but it actually does nothing when they got to the Houston Texans. It does absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. Ron Dane won a Heisman Trophy in Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin. Yeah, this we went to. It did nothing for him. He was a Houston Texan. Like, these things don't do anything for him. Like, those championships don't, or awards or accolades don't transfer over and boom, now your team is now Super Bowl champion. Or boom, now your team, it don't work like that. It's not, you ain't transferring from bank to bank. It don't work like that. It don't. So, again, I want him to get his, but at the same time, the most important thing to me and for the Houston Texans is for him to be available to be a Houston Texan head coach. I don't need no other roadblocks. Now, again, Callahan said they're going to take their time. Cool. I'm taking them at their word. But I'm telling y'all right now, I don't want to look like a fool for taking them at their word. Because we've taken them at their word before. And they like I said, they snatched that carpet from under us. They ain't done it so many times. So many times. But like I've been saying, it just feels right. Everything outside him not being the offensive-minded head coach, like I said, I'm cool with that because I make exception for him. But that's why I don't want Gannon. That's why I don't want Gannon. I prefer Demeco. Second would be Steichen. I'm not really big on Kafka. I tried. I'm not really big on Kafka. Like, what I seen Steichen do in Philadelphia and we did with the Chargers, all right, cool. But Demeco's the guy, bro. Like he just is. He walk like it, talk like it, look like it, act like it. He it. If it walk like a duck and talk like a duck, if it walk like a duck and quack like a duck, it's a damn duck. He walks and talks and acts like a head football coach. He's a head football coach. And some people you can look at him and tell, that's a coach. He got coaching in his future. And Demeco is. All the former players say it. All the former players say it. They all say it. Everybody's coming out the woodworks and endorsing them. Everybody's saying it. Bro, it fits. It fits. It feels right. What other way to get the Texans out of this slump? What other way to get this Texans out of the rut? And like I said, I'm not even talking about him even being a Houston Texan. That him being a former Texan is just a cherry on top. That's what makes it even more better. What makes it even more sweeter that he used to be a Texan. That he used to put on that deep steel blue, that battle red, that liberty white. He used to come out there. He already know how it is in Houston. He know where everything get. He know how the city feels about football. He was here. His last year here was the Texans' best chance. His last year here was the Texans' best football team, the 2011 football team. And contracts got in the way, salary cap got in the way, and that's the reason why he had to get cut and end up going to Philadelphia. I know people make the thing about him suing the field. Suing the team for the field. He got hurt in the field twice, once as a Texan and as an Eagle. So he do got grapes. He do. Yeah, he do have grapes. But again, that's water under the bridge. I know people talking about he wasn't going to interview. He interviewed. The interview went well, and like I said, he could easily pick up that phone call, Dre. Hey, Dre. Hey, how's things down there? Hey, what's going on? What's going down? Hey, J. Joe. Hey, what's going on? Like all the Houston, all his former teammates, all the people who still live here, he could easily pick up that phone, and they gonna give him the real. And I think they can build this franchise back.